Hey, and we're back with another episode of Before You Buy, that show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. It's me, Jake Baldino, and today we're talking about Anno 117 Pax Romana. Ubisoft is back, this time with a game I actually like. Anno 117 Pax Romana is the new Roman Empire themed version of their long-running city-building strategy sim series. Essentially, it's the Anno formula, some of you already may know, but with a Roman twist and some fun gameplay innovations to shake things up. Plus, just a really cool setting this time around, you know? No shade on Anno 1800's industrialization, but this is the stuff the boys dream of, you know? Well, I really enjoy this genre, and I've been a casual enjoyer of the games in this series, and I've really been enjoying Anno 117. It walks a fine line between being a detailed and expressive city builder focused on economics, while not getting too lost in the numbers or the details. Plus, throw in a little bit of story, characters, and politics in there for good measure. Now, there's some warfare, but you have the freedom to tackle that and expand how you want in a manner that is just complicated and challenging enough, maybe not as hardcore strategic as a dad war game, or as complicated menus and UI and strategy-wise as Civilization, but like just right. It's its own flavor, and I really dig it. Now, just so you know, I've been playing a review copy for the last week, and this footage is spoiler-free, showing early sections of the story-based campaigns, and is captured running on PC, so enjoy the ultra-wide gameplay. Now, the true test for me, for games like this, all it really boils down to is, did it hook me? Did the hours melt away as I clicked on units, rearranged buildings, chose civic policies, and expanded my little empire? Yes. Absolutely. So multiple sessions here had me glued to the screen, you know, with enough depth, like I said, to keep me engaged for a long time, but not overwhelmed at any point. Enough challenge to get me to lean in close, but not be frustrated or left feeling stupid. Now, the game offers two modes, essentially, a campaign mode and sandbox mode, and you can play cooperatively. Now, for the sake of this video, to get the info, I've been going through the campaign just to be introduced to all the new features and stuff. These always kind of act like tutorials and are sometimes pretty limiting, but I thought this was a fairly solid campaign, I'm not gonna lie. Now look, in the Anno world, I know a lot of fans just kind of skip the campaign and just go into sandbox for the freedom, but since 1800, I've been at least mildly interested in them, and this one does a good job with a little Roman political drama. It feels a step above a glorified tutorial. Plus, there's two flavors, like there's two campaigns you can run if you choose a male or female campaign leader with variations between them. But that aside, of course, it's all about the gameplay. And that's the building. Starting from scratch, growing your cities and empires, it's all about, you know, light economics, managing income versus expenses, and making sure there's a steady supply of materials to manufacture things that will satisfy the needs of your people. Because you want to grow your population for, you know, more income opportunities and general growth. You have different population types, each with their own capabilities for production and use cases, and they all have their own specific needs or wants as well. So basically, these games give you a lot of things you need to set up. Different types of farms, different types of homes, different materials to be manufactured, different ways to process those materials, different manufacturing spots, and then warehouses to store all this stuff. You need to balance your citizens' health and happiness meters so they don't revolt, while also not overspending and running out of money. From there, you can build up your dirt village to cobblestone streets filled with Roman forums, libraries, maybe a coliseum. What I like is the detail in building. You can vary the same types of buildings, so you don't have to have stuff looking exactly the same all in a row. There are tons of options for cool Roman arches and hedges and statues and braziers. You can place stuff diagonally, which just kind of helps make things look more natural. Really, there's just the right amount of options for me personally to scratch that city building itch. And you can make some really incredible looking cities. Most of the footage I captured here is pretty early, so you can't quite see the peak of it, but you can not only make more detailed cities, but also just be spread across some surprisingly big and beautiful land masses. And there are two types you can take advantage of. Latium, a beautiful Roman province, kind of exactly what you would think of. And then the far north, more remote Albion region, where you're dealing with the native Celtic population and marshlands and less inhabitable cliffs and ridgelines. This is cool. I didn't know that they were doing this. Like, aside from being like an interesting, fun historical angle, this helps keep the game feel like it has two distinct identities, and therefore more to offer. The Celts have their own citizen types with their own specific needs and goods they produce. Where your decisions come in is essentially like assimilation or naturalization. So, as Roman governor, how much of the Roman ideals do you want to push on this native population? You're incentivized to think about it, and it's fun how the game plays with this. Specialists, whether traditional Celt or adopting more Roman culture, will produce different goods with different attributes, for example. So there's more choice in how exactly you upgrade your population tiers. Then, of course, religion is also a factor here. You can choose a deity per island, which you set up, which is pretty sweet. The population will worship these deities and get buffs and bonuses like Mars for better military production and military effectiveness, or Neptune for faster ships and just better, water production bonuses for like fisheries and stuff like that. Minerva for relationships with other areas and leaders. And they're all clever, really. It's cool to see these famous gods represented, very smartly here. And they even throw in a few Celtic ones too. And if you lean into one deity for all, you get more universal added bonuses. And in terms of warfare, you build up troop types and you fortify your civilizations. The game has like a knowledge system and a research skill tree, and you can research better production or warehouse storage or citizen bonuses like that. And then also you can go to like the warfare angle of the skill tree and unlock different types of soldiers, like ranged or mounted. I've only been able to experience so much of the warfare because I like to avoid it in these games. But for what I have seen, I have enjoyed it for, again, walking a good line between being in depth while not overwhelmingly complex. Where I really like it is on the naval side, because the land masses are filled with water, and you're encouraged to go, after a point, manufacture ships and get out there. And you can individually upgrade these ships with faster rowers or weapons for warfare, and you can make journeys that feel like real journeys. Now, I haven't been able to hit every mechanic in this video for the sake of time because, these games are a lot, but I haven't ran into issues with anything yet. I haven't had any sticking points or real frustrations or limitations. And on a technical front, I've been playing on PC, and I think it looks great. I haven't had any technical issues with the game or anything. The only problem I had was being locked out of my Ubisoft Connect account because I forgot my password. So yes, heads up, you do have to deal with the Ubisoft launcher. Other than that, I can't speak to performance on consoles yet, but I do respect them for putting them on consoles, even if I don't like playing them with a controller. Apparently, the PS5 version supports mouse and keyboard, which is kind of cool, but again, I haven't been able to test that. Where this game really also shines is in the detail and the beauty. Like, to sound kind of corny, but look, it's just a good-looking game visually. It's bright, it's crisp, and detailed, and it's really satisfying to build this beautiful Roman column and cobblestone lined streets with hedges, and you're zooming in and you're seeing people milling about in their little togas and stuff, buying from merchants, shipping goods, carrying stuff. People are practicing military drills. People are debating politics in the forums. People hold festivals in the streets for bonuses and stuff. The details are some of the best I've seen in the genre. And this, coupled with some truly great sound design and just ambient music, just makes for a good experience. It helped those hours melt away. Look, I'm probably biased. I've been playing these types of games since they were like little half-baked sprites on screen, but it's fun to sit and reflect for a second how far these games have come, and I do think zooming in and seeing your creations, there is a level of true satisfaction to that, something tangible. Now, I hope this game continues to be supported for a long time, like Anno 1800 before it, because there's a great foundation. I mean, just the Roman Empire is a good foundation. There is a roadmap for the game that is available, and I'm excited for, that, but beyond, because again, it just feels like there's so much more potential. They're gonna have Circus Maximus and volcanoes, and that stuff coming is cool, but I'm excited to see where they would like to show the Roman Empire expand to next, because as you know, there's a lot of regions that they can play around with in the future. But for now, and if you like this genre, this game is a good time. But that's a before you buy. You know how this goes by now. I give you some pros, some cons, and some personal opinion. And now I want to hear yours. Let us know in the comments like any experience you have with these types of games, but also specifically Anno. Let's talk anything Anno. Let's talk anything the Roman Empire. Why not? Let's talk about the Roman Empire down in the comments. Hit us up. If you like this video, maybe it helped you out, seen some gameplay, informed you, I don't know, clicking the like button does help us. Thank you. If you're new, consider subscribing because I put out videos every single day. But either way, just thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
It's like... We can attract local freedmen by building housing, Ere.